Bum 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 ha bum 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 ha bum 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 ha. She's got a smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories when everything was as fresh as a black blue sky. Whoa, 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 sweet child of mine. Hey, yo! What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Man Cave 101 podcast, episode 6. I am one of your hosts, Abel. Along with me tonight, man in the chair, Aaron. How we doing tonight, Aaron? Except your mic is muted.
I'm talking now. Sorry. Morning,
What's up, Aaron?
morning, evening, afternoon, folks. How we doing?
How we doing? With us live from the Man Cave, Leo. How we doing, Leo?
What up? What up? What up?
What up? What up? And live from somewhere else in New York, Big Chase. How we doing?
Hey, good evening, folks. What's going on?
All right, so let's get into it. Again, this is the Man Cave 101 podcast, episode 6, where we talk about everything nerdy. We talk about some sports. We talk about how angry we are at certain companies for messing up our comic stuff, which we're going to get into. We like to review some shows on here. We like to review some comics. We like to review some movies. So if you like this content and you're with us, please like, comment, subscribe on our YouTube channel, Man Cave 101 Podcast, and on our Facebook. And then, as always, this is a podcast where we are going to be talking about spoilers, a lot of spoilers. We hold nothing back. And with also holding nothing back, we are going to curse. We are going to say things people might not like. If it's not for you, whatever. Stay here anyway and listen to our crap. It's fine. Everything's fine.
As Leo likes to say, we hope y'all put the kiddies to bed, even though it's only 8:00.
Right, because we are going to say some stuff. Obviously, we're going to be drinking. There might be some vaping and smoking. So by all means, if you got them, drink them. With that, let's start the night off right. Nice little toast. Cheers, everyone. With that said, we're going to go to Leo for the comic corner. Leo, take it away.
What up? Good evening, ladies and gents. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing great. Yay!
Yay! All right, we were going to start off this comic corner with Avengers number 55. It is the first team appearance of a new Serpent Society, so that's one of the older for the Avengers to be battling with, and the artist is Javier Garin, and the writer is Jason Aaron. And excuse me right now because I am going to mess up names, so
right.
I've been drinking a little bit early.
Yep. We have been drinking. We do, Leo. We've come up with a new point system. Every time you get a name wrong and we verify it, you have to take a shot. So good luck.
I agree.
No, I'll start getting these things right now. Okay. The next book is Captain America Zero. It's a premiere issue for the 10th Captain America series that we've had. 10. That's a longevity, people. And this is number 0. One of my favorite cover artists, Alex Ross. He is amazing. If you've seen any of his work, follow him on Facebook or Twitch. He does a lot of live shows. Also, the writer is Tachi. Oh, I'm gonna have to take a shot. Obuchi. I think that's right.
Onibuchi is my guess.
Onibuchi. Yeah, that's that dude.
Yeah, nobody else. Only
Onibuchi.
Onibuchi. The next book we have is Hulk number 6. The first full appearance of the Titan Hulk. Also,
sick ass cover.
Yes, it is, bro. It reminds me of a Scotty Young cover. But I was looking at it and I was like, "Oh no!"
Hey, what's? Look at Aaron. Aaron supported his local comic book shop.
Support your local comic book shops.
Hey, yo,
we got it.
Yes, gentlemen. Yes. And the cover artist is Ryan Alley. The writer is Donnie Cates. Yeah, got one right.
Hey, bing bong,
bing bong.
The next book we have is Spidey Gwen. Gwenverse 2. It's the first appearance of Captain America, Gwen Stacy, a previous version of appearance of cameos of Gwen Stacy. In 2020 was the first appearance of Wolverine, full appearance of Wolverine in this one, and Gwen Stacy.
We feel very passionate about this cover tonight.
Yes,
Agreed.
that is a cover to be passionate about.
Passionate.
Nice.
Okay, I'm gonna take another shot. Yeah, the writer is.
Oh, come on, you can't get this.
Wait. Okay, the writer is Tim Seeley, and the cover artist is David Nakayama.
Hey,
Oh,
that's beautiful.
You know what? I'm even if that's wrong, I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah, we're giving that one to you.
I think that was right though.
Right?
Yo, the day one of these artists slide into one of these shows and sees us butcher their name, we're gonna. Oh boy.
They're gonna have to live with it. Okay, the hot cover of the week, ladies and gentlemen, none and only the Todd Father.
Good God.
Yeah, the cover artist is the cover artist is Francisco Martinia. I gotta put the little Spanish accent into it. Martinia.
Just Matina.
Yeah. But this is Spawn number 329. I think it's coming out in May of the 11th.
May 11th.
So pick that up. And Todd is bringing out a lot of good content and a lot of good books. And he's bringing them out early. He does not care about print runs. He just putting them out, letting the artists do what they do. And this is the result that you get for these covers. And it's amazing.
Todd McFarlane's a bad man.
Yes, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, first time we're doing a giveaway on Man Cave.
Hey yo.
Hey yo.
Give it to me. I want it.
We're doing a giveaway for the YouTube watchers and followers. Please, from here, if you're watching and following, please go to YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, and let us know what you think of the podcast, and let us know what you want us to talk about in the next future episodes or the next episodes. But make sure that you comment, like, and subscribe. And on Sunday, we will have a winner, and we will announce it. And I will let you guys see the book that you guys want. So please, like, follow, and subscribe.
I'm excited.
All right, there we go. Yes. Like, comment, subscribe. Please.
Yes, please.
Can I make like a false, no.
No false. No.
I'm gonna be really honest. Can you just give me a comic book that has that cover with Jim Carrey on it? Like, I'm fine with just that. Like, I just went to go see Sonic 2, and I'm all about Jim Carrey right now. So by all means,
was that good?
Yeah, I love Sonic 2, but we'll talk about that because Jim Carrey.
That's funny because the cover artist on this page is Aaron Jacobs, and
wait, Leo, can you pronounce that? Aaron
Jacobs. Okay.
Aaron Jacobs.
Oh my God.
Fantastic. So now we are going to go to sports. Aaron, what's going on out there?
Wait, hold up. You cheated me.
Oh God.
Where's my shot?
Oh man.
Yeah.
He came. There's violence tonight.
Yes.
Gratuitous violence. Always.
Gratuitous violence.
I choose violence.
Oh God.
Oh man.
This is gonna get rough. All right. Aaron.
Right. So sports, it's I'm gonna keep it a little concise this week. Only three things, well, really two things to talk about with a segue from the second one. So the first thing I want to mention is actually just came out yesterday. So I don't know if everybody heard, but star wide receiver from the San Francisco 49ers, Deebo Samuel, requested a trade yesterday. It became official. He basically leaked it to the media that he requested a trade from the 49ers. The interesting part about this story is that most of the time when a player requests a trade, like Tyreek Hill or somebody like that recently who got traded to Miami, it's usually because of pay or something along those lines. The 49ers are actually willing to, make a contract offer to Deebo Samuel, but he actually didn't even want to hear it from them. He cut off all contract negotiations. So the interesting part about that is that, he allegedly is telling people that the reason why he wants to leave the team or get traded is because he doesn't like his usage within the San Francisco offense. So basically, I don't know if you guys, I know you guys maybe don't follow football as much as I do, but basically I'll summarize it for everybody here. During the 2021 season, Samuel had a historical year. He basically was a pseudo wide receiver and running back for the team. He was a Pro Bowler. He had 1,400 yards receiving and 6 touchdowns. He also added 365 yards rushing along with 8 touchdowns on the ground. So he accounted for 28% of San Francisco's total offense last year ran through Deebo Samuel.
Damn.
Doesn't sound like a lot, maybe 28%, but he was a bulk of their offense for most of the season.
28% for the whole offense? Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
I completely get it.
So I think the interesting part here is that if you look at it from Deebo Samuel's perspective, right, he wants to be a wide receiver. He really wants to play a receiver. He doesn't really want to play the running back role, even though he obviously has the talent and capability to do it, right? But the thing about it is longevity. If you play running back in the NFL, your lifespan is a lot shorter than it is if you play wide receiver. You take a lot more hits. So from Deebo's perspective, I think the perception is, less usage, less hits on his body will mean he'll be able to sign another max contract after this contract, and then he must.
It's really the comment for me.
He must hate being a number one. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's seriously though. But I think from his perspective, he wants to get he's 27 years old, so he'll want to get paid this time around. And then after this 4 or 5 year contract gets us up, he'll be 31 years old and he'll be looking for one more contract. Whereas if he plays running back more so, or this like tweener role, this dual role, he's really guaranteeing himself one contract, and then the next one might not be so lucrative because of all the damage his body's taken being a running back. So it's interesting.
Listen, I completely get it, man. Listen, at this point in his career, he's building his legacy, and they want him to put him in a function where he works, but it's not a function that's going to add to his empire. So at this point, they obviously can't see eye to eye about where he's supposed to be and where he wants to go. They want to pay him more money, and he's like, hey, no, he wants to do what he wants to do, and he's at a point in the career where he can do that. So I completely get it.
For sure.
Yeah, I get it. Especially if you're doing 28% of the work. Pay me.
Yeah, he definitely wants to get paid, especially he saw all the money that went to receivers this year. Like Tyreek Hill signed a big deal.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams signed a big deal. So he sees all that money floating around. He's like, yo, I'm 28% of the offense. Like I deserve my money as well. Totally understood. I'm all about, listen, players deserve to get paid at the end of the day. These guys are billionaires paying millionaires, and they deserve their money as much as the next guy. You know what I mean?
I feel like the 49ers are having like a weird offseason, right? Like, are they in a little trouble? Like, I feel like
I don't know if they're in trouble because they have a great coach, to be honest with you, but it's interesting because they didn't trade Jimmy Garoppolo, which everybody thought was going to happen.
Yeah, for real.
So now Jimmy Garoppolo's still there. They drafted this running back, this quarterback last year, Trey Lance, who everybody seems to like. He's a young, talented kid. I don't think anybody really knows though. Like, I wouldn't say they're in trouble. I would say that if they ended up trading Deebo Samuel. By the way, New York Jets, the phone lines are open. Make a trade. Sorry. That's just me as a Jets fan. Make the trade. That's all I'm saying. If he's available, make the trade. I would say that if they lose Deebo Samuel, he's going to be a big piece to have to replace. Obviously, 28% of the offense. You can't just replace that in a draft, or you know what I mean. Or, finding lightning in a bottle twice in the NFL is kind of tough. You don't always replace those guys with guys. It's interesting to get a younger guy in there and have him on a smaller deal for a longer period of time, but you don't always get that lucky, with players like that. So. It'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. I'm hoping if he gets traded, the Jets have all the draft capital in the world. That's all I'm saying. I want them to make a trade. If it happens, it happens. I'm not getting my hopes up though. So
for real.
I will pivot that into the NBA playoff picture. So the NBA playoffs started, and it's been kind of crazy. So I'm just going to go down the list. So currently, Phoenix, the Phoenix Suns are playing the New Orleans Pelicans. That series is tied 1-1, but a big issue that happened there is Devin Booker got hurt the other night in Game 2. Devin Booker is, obviously the leading scorer on the Phoenix Suns, and
is he missing Game 3 and 4? Is that
he's gonna miss Game 3 and 4 confirmed? Nobody knows if they go 5 or 6 if he misses more time. So
that's crazy.
The issue is gonna be there. Phoenix is the number 1 seed, so if Devin Booker misses some time, I mean, I don't know if there would be an upset in round 1. The Pelicans are a good team, but I don't know if they could really upset Phoenix. They've been really good all year, even with Chris Paul and Devin Booker missing time here and there. So I think they'll probably be able to hold on, but it'll be interesting because Booker, Booker's such a key part of that offense and what they do. So, they could give him some trouble.
No, listen, it can go either way at this point. I mean, we talk about, some of the people that we think are shoo-in, some of the teams that we think are shoo-in. No one's a shoo-in. Phoenix got a perfect record, but it doesn't mean that they can't get knocked out. Devin Booker actually needs to be on that floor. It doesn't, it doesn't take away the potential to still win and move to the next round, but they need him on that floor. Do they need him to finish out the Pelicans?
Maybe not. Yeah.
We'll see. Right now, CP3 is doing his thing. The rest of the company is there. Everybody's, inputting. But Devin Booker is the young legs on that team that gives it, that gives that engine a lot of go on offense and defense. So they're definitely going to hurt without him.
For sure. And that series is currently tied 1-1. So that losing Booker in Game 2 might not have been the end all be all to why they lost that game, but now the Pelicans get 2 games at home, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, absolutely.
The next series, I'm just going to jump through all the series real quick. So the Dallas Mavericks are playing the Utah Jazz. That series is currently tied 1-1. The interesting point in that series to me is so far that's been a competitive series overall, but Luka Doncic hasn't played yet, and he's supposed to play tonight. Luka Doncic is one of the best players in the NBA, obviously, good young player. So his impact on the series could be great if he comes back and he's fully healthy and good to go. Dallas could end up winning this series over Utah. Utah's a tough team though; they play really good defense, so that's going to be interesting as well. I'm going to jump to Golden State, the Golden State Warriors, and the Denver Nuggets. So currently. Oh, did I mention Dallas and Utah's currently tied at 1-1 the series? I forgot to mention that. So it's 1-1.
Did I mention that I absolutely paid no attention to that part of the series? I didn't even know that Utah and Dallas were like in it. I'm
surprised that freaking Utah is in it.
Utah's a really good team. They play really great defense. They're a good team. They're a good team.
Man.
The last time I followed Utah was when Karl Malone was on that motherfucker.
Oh my God, you done missed a whole lot. No, Utah is always one of those tough teams that you don't want to see late in the season. They seem like there's nothing going on there until you get on the floor with them, and then you're like, holy shit! Like, wait a minute, they're like out there, they're running hard. They've always got good shooters. The defense is always there. So it's one of those silent teams that you just don't want to run into after you thinking you've beaten everybody you need to beat.
They have Rudy Gobert as he's a 2-time defensive player of the year playing center. He's a phenomenal player. He's got like a 7'6" wingspan. Dude's ridiculous. They also have
wait, you said 7'6" wingspan?
Like a pterodactyl.
He's 7 feet. He's 7 foot tall. He has a 7'6" wingspan. Yes, dude's massive. And they also have Donovan Mitchell, who's an underrated superstar in the league as well. He's a really good scorer, can light it up any night. So that's going to be an interesting series. I want to see what happens now that Luka's back and see how the series kind of. That's one of those series that could go the full 7 games. To be honest with you, actually, I forgot if they go. Do they do 5 or? I forgot if they do 5 or 7 in the first round. My mistake if it's 5 or 7. I think 5, yeah. So that's going to be interesting to see how that one ends. So we'll jump over to Golden State. So Golden State Warriors and Denver Nuggets. I'll be honest with you, I don't really have that much to say about this series, and the only reason why is because Golden State is currently beating the brakes off of the Denver Nuggets. No game has been close. Golden State is just shooting them out of the gym. There's no Steph Curry's healthy. Klay Thompson is healthy. Draymond Green is healthy now. They're championship pedigree. championship
Exactly.
pedigree. These
Well,
guys have been there. They've done it.
Let me just speak on my team. Okay, so Golden State Warriors. Let me tell you something. The shooting on that team is absolutely ridiculous.
It's crazy.
And Klay Thompson being back on the floor right now is a problem for the entire NBA because he's not only back, but he's shooting well. Stephon had a lot of time where he had to be on the floor, and that allowed the defense to double and sometimes triple him. But now with Klay on the floor with someplace to dump the ball, that's a problem because now the Splash Brothers are back and everybody's getting wet.
Also,
I don't know if you heard that. Everybody's getting wet.
Everybody's
hey yo,
everybody's getting wet.
hey yo.
Oh my gosh. So was that Alicia Keys? I think it was. Was that the game the other day? Did you see?
I did.
That was a
like closes his eyes,
segue.
he throws a 3-way, and she like jumps up like, ah! It's just like, sit your ass down for your husband. See,
I really think that was one of the best segues we've ever done. By the way, I just want to put that out there.
So my cousin Mike said the Nuggets are screwed without Jamal Murray. I agree. The issue is when you don't have your point guard on the floor. If you're the Nuggets, you're asking Nikola Jokic, who's going to be the NBA MVP this year, to do everything. And since he has to do everything against the Golden State Warriors, it's not going to be good. Gonna be good.
I agree. They're definitely
The other thing I do want to say, I don't want to like rant and rave, but the Warriors, a lot of people hate, I feel like dislike the Warriors, which I never have, honestly, as a basketball fan, because of that whole Kevin Durant leaving Oklahoma City, going to that whole thing. A lot of people hate on the Warriors. The Warriors drafted this kid 2 years ago, Jordan Poole, who's currently in these playoffs. Like, everybody talks about Klay and Steph. This kid is averaging like 20, 23, 25 a night. The Warriors, say whatever you will about the Warriors, they drafted Steph, they drafted Klay, they drafted Draymond, now they drafted Jordan Poole. They know how to build a franchise from the bottom up through the draft. It's not just this whole super team. I'm going to go follow LeBron James around, like that nonsense. Like that's not what the Warriors built their team through the draft. They have two good young centers, a bunch of nice role pieces. That, in my opinion, if they're fully healthy, they're going to be a tough out for anybody in the playoffs this year. Anybody.
And do not talk about my Lakers like that, okay?
I will. I will.
All I know is
because LeBron's been on the golf course for like weeks
all
already.
of these memes with LeBron talking to Stephon. We don't want you, LeBron. Stay where you at, bro. Stay where you at. You're all right. We're good. We're good. But I agree. Golden State just is very good at not only bringing in young talent, but making that young talent go. Like Steve Kerr's system of basketball is maybe number one. The only second maybe to Greg Popovich, in my personal opinion. For sure. But it's a lot of young talent, and it's going to be scary as hell if all of that talent clicks in at the same time.
Yep.
Like it's absolutely going to be crazy.
Yeah, well.
So I'll jump over the next series. The next series is Memphis and Minnesota. So honestly, two teams that not a lot of people really know about, because obviously they play out west. They don't get a lot of national television time, but two solid playoff teams. That series currently tied 1-1. If anybody gets a chance to watch them in the playoffs this year, that I would tell you guys, watch Ja Morant for a series. That dude is hair on fire. He plays he plays, in my opinion, he plays similarly to a young Derrick Rose, like MVP Derrick Rose back in the day. He's that talented of a player. If anybody got a chance to watch that series, I would watch him for like a half and just see the things he could do. He's a really good young player. And the Minnesota Timberwolves are a good young team too. Karl Anthony Towns is a phenomenal big. They have a lot of good talent on that team too. That's going to be a back and forth series. I think that might go all the way through 5 because they're 1-1. Both teams are good at home, so definitely going to be interesting.
That series is definitely one to watch. First of all, as you say, Ja Morant is scary good.
Showtime.
He is
Showtime.
all about showtime. The one thing that I'm afraid about Ja Morant is I don't know that he has the amount of help that he needs on that team.
Oh yeah, they need another superstar.
And what happens with that is that he goes too hard and he messes around and gets hurt.
Yep.
And then he never comes back from that.
he plays with reckless abandonment, similar to how Rose did back in the day, and similar to like D Wade. They play with reckless abandonment,
and this is
it
what
usually ends up getting you hurt.
Sooner or later, you burn out. You know what I mean?
You
It's
do
like
for sure.
Car. You get in the car, you just slam on the gas, you drive it. It's going to go 100 miles an hour, but at some point, the tires, the brakes, or something's going to wear out, and it's never going to be the same again.
For sure.
And that's the only thing I'm afraid about with Ja Morant. I think Carl Anthony Towns is good.
He's good.
I'm not completely sold on him, especially when we see, we haven't got to that when we see how somebody else who's a big man who's completely playing out of the rafters right now. When he catches up to that guy, then I'll be sold on him. But right now, I've seen nights where cats shut down.
This is the best comment ever.
It's just the truth.
LeBron busy getting his third hair transplant. Facts.
Man's got pubes on his head.
All right, let's pivot this over to the Eastern Conference real quick. I'm not gonna have that much to say about these series, to be honest with you. The last one I will. So Miami and Atlanta right now, again, I'm gonna say it again, my catchphrase, so to speak. Miami is beating the brakes off Atlanta. Trae Young is a phenomenal young player, but he doesn't
Trae Young.
Yeah,
Fuck
that guy.
Trae Young.
Stay out of MSG, Trae Young. Nobody wants you here. I hate that gremlin. Anyway, he's a good player though. He's a phenomenal player. But Miami was the number 1 seed in the East. Jimmy Butler went off for like 43 or 45 points in Game 2. They're just if the Miami Heat are dialed in, Atlanta can't win the series against them. They're again a great defensive team. Jimmy Butler playing like that. Atlanta has looked like a shell of themselves in this series, so pretty sure that series is over. I will jump to Philadelphia, Toronto. So Philadelphia is currently beating the brakes off of Toronto. They lead the series 3-0. Oh, I forgot to mention Miami's leading their series 2-0. Philadelphia is obviously playing Toronto. They're leading that series 3-0. I think this is what Chase was saying before. Joel Embiid is a different animal. He's a different dude. I don't know how else to say it. I've seen this guy play. I can't tell you how many times because I watched the Knicks and all that. But he's honestly one of the most dominant big men I've seen in the league in a long, long time. There's just times where there's just nothing you could do with him. He could shoot from outside. He's a bully in the paint. He even knows how to dime people. He gets all the boards. 7 feet, 260, just a monster.
Yeah.
And as my cousin says, Joel's an MVP frontrunner. I agree with you. It's between him and Jokic, but Jokic will probably win because of the triple-double stats. That's all I'll say. But I agree with you. He's an MVP frontrunner for sure.
Yeah. Embiid right now is a monster. Inside, outside, upside down. You passing the ball and just watch the show. For me, he is who Giannis Antetokounmpo is trying to be, and it's not quite working. I watched the Bucks game the other night, and you can just see where Giannis is lost at times, and just like, why isn't my superpowers working? He has, it's like you can see their faces. Like, I got 65 inch back here. Like, you can see their faces. It's like, what the hell happened? But Embiid is just locked in. He's prepared to go in, and that's scary. Philly's definitely going to take this. In my opinion, if something crazy happens,
yeah, they're going to win the series for sure.
Yeah, they're definitely going to win the series. My thinking right now is probably going to be Philly and either the Bucks or Boston.
Yeah, I mean, so thank you for the segue. We're going to segue over to those two series real quick. So we got Milwaukee and Chicago. Chicago actually tied the series last night at 1-1. Again, the defending champs, the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's the Greek freak. He's a beast. The Bulls played really well yesterday in Milwaukee, and a big thing that I feel like it hasn't gotten as much attention, but the Bucks, I'll say their second best player on the roster, Chris Middleton, actually got hurt in the middle of yesterday's game. And if he's out for an extended period of time, Chicago could prove to be a little bit of a problem for Milwaukee because Chicago is fully healthy now. And basically Milwaukee's going to sit here and ask Giannis to play Superman until Middleton can get back. And he can, but against a couple of really good teams, which if he has to play Chicago and then potentially the next series I'm going to talk about with the Celtics and the Nets, if he has to go through those two series without Chris Middleton, the Bucks could get upset and they might not make another championship run. So that's what I think.
Yeah, I agree. At this point, you need all your players. It's
you do. Everybody needs to be healthy.
This is where you lock in. Unlike regular season where you play one team, you don't see them for a few weeks. Right. You're going to see the same team potentially 3 or 4 or 5 times, and you're not going to be able to use the same tricks. So, you shoot a certain way and you get a certain energy the next night, they're going to come back ready for that. Now you got to go dig. And, he's good for a certain amount of time, but, after 2 or 3 games, I see him needing, more guidance on that floor. And, Chris Middleton is a part of the experience on that team that they need to get where they need to go. So.
For sure. And then we will wrap it up with Boston and Brooklyn. So the Boston Celtics are playing the Brooklyn Nets. Abel's got the double birds up because he knows where I'm going after this. So
fuck my dick.
so the Boston Celtics are currently leading the series 2-0. Brooklyn had a 17-point lead yesterday in their game and they blew it. They played like the Knicks did. Surprise, surprise. I'm going to be honest with you. This series has been surprising to me, not because I don't think Boston's a good team, because I do think that they're a good and underrated team. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are 2 really good players. They also have the defensive player of the year, Marcus Smart. Shout out for a guard winning defensive player for the first time since Gary Payton this year. The first time a guard has won defensive player of the year since Gary Payton back in, I can't even tell you what year, the 80s, I want to say. Sometime and I want to say it was that. But Marcus Smart, guard from the Boston Celtics, defensive player of the year this year. Crazy. And the most surprising part of the series to me is we're going to talk about Kyrie because he's my end off discussion. Kyrie's doing Kyrie things. Kevin Durant has disappeared. Kevin Durant is supposed to be the best player in basketball, and he's completely disappeared from the series. He's playing like should have came to the Knicks. Kevin Durant is just he's shooting horribly. He's not. He's just I don't. It seems like he's locked in. I just feel like Boston is giving him fits because Boston also plays really good defense. Like I said, they have defensive player of the year. They also have a lot of guys with length that I feel like are bothering Kevin Durant to an extent, even though he'd obviously never say that. But I feel like if you get enough length on Kevin Durant, you can kind of bother his shot a little bit, even though he's 6'11", and again, a freaking tree and all that nonsense. But I feel like these guys are bothering him. They're in his face a lot. They're playing really like up tough defense on him. So I feel like just watching him, he seems like a shell of himself right now. Unless he snaps out of it, they're gonna get swept. Just flat out. The Brooklyn might get swept.
Well, listen, Brooklyn's my home team. I'm from Brooklyn, but let me tell you, this series actually might be over already. And this goes back to what I was saying about Stephen Curry. At the end of the day, when you're a great shooter, you need to be able to shoot. And one thing that they have made sure they've done is that they put 2 or 3 people on them. They're putting big bodies on them. Mm-hmm. When you saw Stephen Curry don't shoot, when Stephen Curry does not shoot well, it's because they put a body on him who's banging him around. A lot of extra hits, a lot of extra taps, a lot of extra grabs. And it frustrates you because as a great player, your team needs those shots. You want to make those shots. But you can't make those shots because the guy's pulling on you. He's tugging. He's giving you a little extra push when you're trying to shoot and all of that. And this is where Kevin Durant is right now. They're putting 2 or 3 bodies in front of him. So now when he tries to go through the lane, he's got to go past 2 or 3 people. He's got to change. He's got to shimmy. He can't get the shot off. They showed last night where he was trying to get a shot off, and by the time he got clear of a shot, it was only 1 second left on the clock.
1 second left on the clock, right?
So where are you going to shoot that? You know what I mean? It's like you haven't even had a chance to size up. So they've got to figure it out. The good thing is that when they talked to him after the game, he was already aware of it. He said he had to figure it out. So he's not rattled by it, but I'm not sure that they have figured it out. great shooters need some place to dump the ball off when they're double and triple teamed.
Yeah,
and
for
right
sure.
now, he really does not have any place. Unfortunately, Seth Curry is not Stephon Curry, so he's a good player, but you can't dump the ball off to him like you would, Klay Thompson or somebody. He has nobody to dump the ball off to, and so they figured out if they key on Kevin Durant, knock him off of his game, the rest of Brooklyn really does not contribute enough to win the game. They've got to they've got to figure that thing out, or you have to go for cheesecake. What can I say?
Yeah, I think one interesting takeaway from this game also is it hasn't been ruled out that Ben Simmons is going to play the next game yet, so he might actually come back and play. How healthy he is, how ready he is, I don't think anybody knows, but we'll see. It could play a factor in the series. He's a great defender. Who knows? We'll see. I want to end it with Kyrie Irving. This is how I'm going to end sports tonight. So I'm sure everybody kind of heard what happened on Sunday with Kyrie Irving at this point. Abel brought it up before. So Kyrie Irving was basically riling up the Boston fans. He was doing an inbounds, and he put his hands behind his head and gave him the double bird. And then the Boston fans were letting him have it, and he gave him one of these. He was like, "Oh, boo-hoo, cry about it." Because Boston, honestly, what that goes back to for anybody who doesn't know is Kyrie played in Boston for, I want to say, 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. He was primarily injured throughout that time in Boston. He had injuries here and there. And then he told them he was going to come back at one point, especially during the offseason. And then he dipped to Brooklyn to go be with Kevin Durant. So Boston fans have a little bit of resentment towards Kyrie Irving. And, just a smidge. So obviously Kyrie with the salute behind the head, the fake crying. And then on his way back to the locker room, a Boston fan told him, he was like, he said, "Kyrie, you suck," typical fan stuff. And Kyrie's response was, "I hope the kids are in bed." He said, "Suck my dick." So Kyrie ain't having it. Kyrie is not having it. And personally, this is me. I love this stuff for basketball because we need rivalries, right? Like rivalries are what makes basketball. Celtics, Lakers back in the day, whoever else you want to think about in basketball.
Knicks, Bulls,
Pistons at
Bulls,
some point.
Pistons, right? All that.
Oh my God, you kidding me?
Rivalries are great. Rivalries are great for basketball. So if you keep building rivalries up, this will be a series that goes, because Tatum and Brown aren't going anywhere. Kyrie's going to be in Brooklyn for at least a couple more years. So it's definitely going to be interesting, because if they start this dynamic off like this, and then Brooklyn comes back next year and they're a little better, like this could become something good for the NBA, in my opinion.
And then also, by the way, the NBA fined him $50,000 for all that stuff. By the way,
you know what $50,000 is to a player who makes like $40 million a season?
$50.
He's dropping a bucket. You know what I mean? He don't care. He don't care.
That's change. I mean, listen. Here's the thing. First of all, when you go to certain cities, especially on the East Coast, it's automatically hostile. It's not just NBA. The Yanks in Boston is like, bring the gun.
Murder.
You know what I mean? Murder. When Indiana used to come to New York back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Like it was murder. Are you kidding me? It was murder. So certain places you go, it's automatically like going to be hostile. They tried to contain it at one point by throwing out fans and all, but it's a part of the game. And I think that they should have gave Kyrie a pass, to be honest, because it's bad enough you're in a hostile city, but you're in a city that you left and they felt slighted by the way that you left. So this is LeBron coming back to Cleveland to pay after he left them. It's like they're gonna give him a little extra sauce on it. You know what I mean? It's a little extra sauce on it. So I mean, I think he should have just got a warning, and they should have let it go, because like it's a whole series now. So now they know that they're taking money out of his pocket. Do you not think they're not going to go extra hard at him?
Oh, 100%. They're going to taunt the crap out of him.
For sure.
You got him taxed for $50,000. Let's go for $250,000.
Yeah.
So So I think they should just they should have gave him a warning, slap on the hand, let it go.
One of the best moments in NBA history is when Reggie Miller he did the choking sign to freaking what's his name of the
Spike Lee.
Spike Lee, yeah. When he did that to Spike Lee,
Yeah, I know. I'm a
the
Knicks
best
fan. It
moment
still
ever.
hurts.
No. I got hands down the best Knicks moment when PJ Brown throws freaking Starks into the fucking stand and he's spinning around like a damn top, and it turned from a basketball game to a street brawl. That is the best. I just couldn't believe he just like walked up to him and picked him up like he was 5 and just tossed him into the first 3 rows. And it was a melee after that.
Mess. God. All
Good
right.
basketball.
All right. So now moving to. Oh wait, take a shot, everyone, because Leo was gonna yell at me if I don't tell you to take a freaking drink.
Yeah.
Hello.
Right. All right. Now we're heading into nerdy news. Leo, what's going on out there? Who am I yelling at this week? Please tell me.
And
You want to yell?
about?
All right, let's you want to start yelling? Okay, let's just start yelling.
No. Start
Wait,
the way
wait.
we talked about.
You want to build up to the yelling?
No, wait.
build up
Let's
to the
let's. I think first, don't we want to start with little?
Yeah.
Yes, we have to start. Oh, we definitely do. We have to pay our respects to people know him as DJ K Slay all around the world. A foundation of hip hop, a pillar of hip hop,
A gatekeeper
of hip hop, of lyricism and hip hop. The man, his alias was DJ K Slay. His real name was Keith Grayson.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to, in the podcast, pay our respects to the man. He started off. A lot of people don't know, he actually started off as a graffiti artist back in the day. So this man has done the Drama King. If you grew up in the 90s and in the 80s and you never heard about the Drama King and his voice coming over Hot 97,
forget it. So one of the most important pieces, which is the part that I hate the most, is that K Slade was actually the vehicle for this whole Nas versus Jay-Z, who's the best conversation. And K Slade is actually responsible for dropping Ether. So now
I didn't know that. Holy crap.
Yeah, not like literally, not only did he drop it, but he dropped it on the radio.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're not going to go to the Nas versus Jay-Z thing because that loses friendships. I've seen people fight behind this thing, and this conversation still goes on today. But he's responsible for that. He's responsible for another rapper, Papoose, who's the vehicle for bringing Papoose out, and plus a whole plethora of other MCs and producers that are out now today. Not to mention the infamous boat ride. If you don't know about the boat ride, go Google K Slade Drama King boat ride and see the pictures on that joint.
Wait a minute. Was this the same boat that Odell Beckham Jr. was on?
Yeah.
Is that boat?
Oh yeah. We did security on that boat one year.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I offered to do it for free the next.
Oh man. Man.
And
you don't want to get into a fight on that boat.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, there's nothing to fight about. And then on top of that, he had the corresponding the boat ride was a culmination of the magazine that he had. So it was a girls magazine, men's magazine, and then the culmination at the end of the year was kind of that boat ride in the summertime. So yeah, just again, man, my condolences as a guy who grew up in hip hop and remembers all the stuff that came out of it, and with K Slade, we've lost quite a few of our greats in the last couple of years. So we definitely just want to give our condolences to his family, 100%. His friends, everybody. I just couldn't believe it when the news came across.
Yeah,
sucks.
Yeah, dude, it was a hard day. All right. Okay, so let's pick this back up. with the nerdy news.
Yeah, let's get Abel angry.
The 2-minute warning gets it, by the way. Shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, shots.
You know what? I'm gonna take a sip. Let's do
Yeah,
that.
I'm taking a sip.
See what you did. 2-minute warning. You say shots. It's like Beetlejuice in this chat, bro. You say shots, people do them. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen, we have a development coming to us live from a land not so down under.
Hey,
the man, the myth, the legend, Win Diesel.
Hey, yo.
With that.
There he is.
How we doing, Wendell?
It's Win Daisy.
How we
Are
doing,
you
big
muted?
guy?
Can you hear us?
Hello, Win Daisy.
What's going on?
Oh,
What up?
Okay.
Well, you got the Barry White voice on.
I know.
I don't know why. All right, Leo, hit us with the news, and then we're gonna take it around. Let's
nerdy news.
Just shoot us. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna start it off light. Zack Snyder, one of our favorite directors that actually did DC movie right, just revealed a first look of 3 pictures of his new movie for Netflix called Rebel Moon. This looks fantastic. The graphics, the art, what he's leaking out a little taste of it, and the pictures, and they look great. That's one. Then we have, I don't know where to take you guys. Okay, Andrew Lincoln is in talks with Marvel, and also I will start with those 2 just to get you guys warmed up. What do you guys think? Who wants to take it first?
I'm gonna go first. So Zack Snyder coming back into the picture, great. I don't really know about Rebel Moon or what it's about. Didn't really see much, but this man needs to come back into our movie lives and deliver us something awesome. And I think this will be it. Although Netflix, shares plummeting like 35% might be a little bit of an issue, and people just leaving left and right. Big yikes! Big yikes! First they lost Marvel, now they lose 200,000 subscribers, looking to be 20 million more, whatever they were saying. So I'm sure that's going to be fun. And then the next one was Andrew Lincoln. I am here for Andrew Lincoln. I was a big Walking Dead fan up to in and around the point of a little after Negan. This man can go dark side very fast, especially if you guys saw what happened with Negan and some of the conversations he's just had with people on the shows and the serious tone he can get and the way he says Carl.
I was literally gonna say
Carl. So the names that have been thrown around, I've seen like pictures of him as Magneto. I've seen pictures of him as Doom. I've seen pictures of him as obviously in our thumbnail, Mr. Fantastic. He can pull off a lot of these roles. I'm more interested in him being a villain because I've seen him so much as a good guy. Agreed. I would love to see him as a villain and see what he could do with it. So I'm very excited about that. All right, I'm good with that. Let's go to Wendell. Wendell's got to come up and have some conversation with us. How we doing, Wendell?
All right, so let's go with let's start with my man Andrew Lincoln. I'm with you, Abe Joe. I can see him definitely in the MCU, but he must be a villain. All day. I can see it. I mean, and just the pictures of him out there, rocking the beard. Like I could see him as like a grown Magneto. Like, I can dig that. I mean, for him to be Doom, like, they're gonna have to like put some prosthetics on him and stuff. Yeah. But I mean, they do a before and after for him. But I'd rather see his face, see what he brings to Magneto. Zack Snyder, yes, please. Anything that man do, I'm in for it, man. Like waiting for like that Snyder cut to come out, seeing how he and his vision was just. I'm good with him. So let's bring him back.
1 million times better.
He might 2 million times better. You kidding me? Like I could spend 4 hours watching that again. No problem. Easy. So, I just want
to mention this comment. This comment is from John Fisher on
Johnny
Facebook.
Fish. How we doing?
He says Lincoln possibly playing Mr. Fantastic. I think it's supposed to be. We can't really see what those are. I'm gonna assume thumbs up. I'm not really sure. there was supposed to be something there, but Facebook didn't let it come over. And then also, it would be cool to see him as Doom. So,
Doom. I feel like Doom or Magneto, man. I feel like he could pull off either one of them.
Definitely be interesting.
All right, let's go to Chase. What do you think, Chase?
Hey, all right. So, one reason I like Zack Snyder is because his movies are dark. I as you can tell, I'm in the dark. He makes dark movies. It's just like a match of heaven. You've got to get into the moment of his movies. I looked at some of the artwork and whatnot. Like, I agree with Leo. Like, this just looks absolutely crazy. If they've got even a half good story here, I'm gonna like not watch it for 3 or 4 weeks just so I can binge watch 4 hours and just put it in the vein and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? They've got my guy Hansu on there, who I absolutely love and whatnot. So I think this is just going to be absolutely, one of the best things that happened. It might actually help Netflix. Unfortunately, a lot of our family members won't be able to see it because we won't be able to share our passwords and whatnot.
Yeah, middle finger, Netflix, middle finger. That's all I'm saying.
We'll have to just have everybody come over to our houses and watch it at the same time.
Yep.
Viewing parties.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it looks great. As far as Andrew Lincoln is concerned, he's a seasoned actor. I think wherever they put him is going to be great. I just hope at this point they actually give him something that he really needs, that the MCU needs. And I agree. I think that he has to be a villain. I think at this point we need, we're missing the Dr. Dooms in the MCU. Like we're missing. Like listen, Dr. Doom, one of my favorites because his villainy is like super large. Up to now, we've got a lot of cosmic villains, but there's a lot of great villains here on Earth that need their behind kicked. So let's get that.
Heck yes.
You know what I mean?
Heck yes. Where is our build-up villain? We got Thanos for 10 years. Where is our build-up villain?
Kang.
Oh yeah, listen, it better be Kang. They better not one-off Kang because I will. Yo, Marvel.
Kang got teased. He's our buildup.
Yeah, my eyes twitching just because I know what we're gonna talk about next. And Marvel, don't put me there. So yeah, Aaron, you're up.
All right. So I'm gonna be totally transparent. I don't know enough about Zack Snyder. I'm notorious on this podcast for saying I didn't watch the Snyder cut of Justice League. Everybody here yells at me. I know I have to.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna end the podcast so Aaron can watch the whole.
I'm gonna. I promise. I'm gonna watch the Snyder cut very, very soon. I'll let that be known.
And that's when we'll review it, and Aaron will give a full recap.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm in.
And a book report.
I'll probably have to do it in 2 parts because it's 4 hours. So. But yeah,
it's a good 4 hours.
No, I know, I get it. But I'm sure that Rebel Moon will probably be cool. I'll check it out. Obviously, I want to speak more so to Andrew Lincoln because 2 things really came to my mind. So obviously, I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead. I was early on more so than towards the end. But Andrew Lincoln to me is like a diver. I know 2-minute warning. I know. I have to watch.
They're all yelling at you.
I know. I'm not gonna go watch it right now. It's 4 hours. I'll watch it. I promise everybody on this podcast and everybody in the comments. I'll watch it. I promise. But Andrew Lincoln. So I really liked how he was Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead. I think he's a versatile actor. I agree with everybody here. I do think he has to be a villain. I'll tell you the 2 things that I see. So first off, I don't really see him as Doom. I don't think that that's a thing. To me, he's Magneto. I think Magneto is the role for him. An older Magneto, just where I'm at. That's what I see him doing. The pictures I saw, the leaks, it looked like it would make sense to me. And I'm in. I think he would be good at that role. I know I've seen him in some other things that he's acted in. I think he's definitely got the chops to do Magneto. The other place that this brought me to, I'll be honest with you guys, is me thinking that I'm pretty sure this means Norman Reedus is going to be Ghost Rider. I do. I just have a feeling. I just have a feeling they're like a package deal from The Walking Dead almost. I think that Marvel's going to sign both of them. I think Norman Reedus is going to be Ghost Rider. And Andrew Lincoln's going to be Magneto. And I don't know if that was Marvel's plan, but it seems to me like that's what Marvel does. Like sometimes because I think I was reading something and it's how somebody else in Marvel literally got one of their jobs? Like somebody got casted and then somebody else
Tom Holland actually got casted because of Chris Hemsworth.
That's what I'm saying.
Like stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I know Marvel's notorious for that. So this immediately brought me to, we've heard so much about Ghost Rider and like maybe there's going to be a Ghost Rider in Doctor Strange. Who knows? That to me is going to be like a variant. I think our Ghost Rider is probably going to end up being Norman Reedus. And I'm here for that as well. We can get into that another day, but I'm here for that. Andrew Lincoln as Magneto. That's where I'm at. That's where my head goes. I hope that that's the casting. So
awesome. All right. And then we're going to end with Leo so he can give us more news.
All right. Andrew Lincoln, I'm here for it. And the villain, definitely. I want to tell you a little snippet that Rebel Moon, you guys are not going to, this is to start off getting you guys pissed off. Rebel Moon was actually pitched to DC, and DC said no.
Surprise! Surprise!
No, you know what? I'm very happy about that. Don't let them touch anything. How about that?
Cut their hands off and bury them in the sand.
Right. So you're telling me it was given to Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers said, "No, we're not going to do this." And Zack Snyder said, "Oh, you're not going to do this? I'm going to do this." And he's going to do it right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm going last with the next news because I'm going to yell. I'm going to fucking yell.
No.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm refilling.
Here it comes.
All right. We're going to start it off a little bit light. Yeah. Idris Miller gets locked up again. He cannot run fast enough.
Steady trying to find
run, Barry, run. Run, Barry.
He can't run fast enough. The latest news is that he assaulted a female with a chair at a house party.
Got locked up.
What do you think, he's a wrestler?
And she needed to get about 6 to 8 stitches.
Yeah.
Well,
he's also going to need to get a bank account to cash that check.
All right.
Give me the
next one is Sony Spider-Man. Into the Sony Spider-Man was delayed. It is delayed until part 1 is delayed until June 2nd, 2023. Part 2 is delayed 2024. Kraven the Hunter also delayed until January 2023. Madam Web delayed till 2023.
I think everybody at Sony is delayed.
So 2023.
Okay, you have to kick it off.
Oh no, we're gonna let Leo go first, and then I'm gonna. Yeah, just go ahead, Leo.
Okay, Sony can't get shit right. They can't. You had Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, great fucking animation, great.
They got this right.
They got that right.
They got this.
But
right.
now you're delaying it, and now you're delaying it again, and not giving out no specific reasons, answers, nothing, just delaying it. Because my feeling about it is because the way Morbius and everybody downplayed it and talked bad about it, and they butchered that movie all over the internet, and Rotten Apple gave it a freaking such a bad score. Rotten Tomato gave it such a bad score. And I'm thinking that they're saying, okay, let's revamp everything. But they did not need to touch Spider-Man. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was a fantastic animation.
Ezra,
whatever. I can't even say his name. I'm so fucking pissed off. How could you mess up something when you're off and you're home? How could you get fired on your day off? Seriously. On your fucking day off. You're sitting and partying. You're rich. You're young. You're in a freaking superhero movie that everybody wants to see, and you end up public intoxication, and now you're gonna end up in assault. And you think Warner Brothers, and that's why they're revamping everything? You think they're gonna actually keep your ass? That's it. Whoever wants to go next.
I wish I could show all three of these comments at the same time. So we're
gonna go to Aaron so we can start with those comments.
We got John with the I hate Sony. I think we all do. We agree. Mike with Sony can suck it. I agree.
Yep.
They need to give up on making films and focus on what they're good at, and that's tech. Agreed.
Give me more games.
And then the 2-minute warning. I hate Sony movies. Agreed. Yes, 100%.
He got it.
So I piggyback everything that you guys are saying. At this point, I'm going to start with Sony because at this point, after I went and saw a matinee of Morbius, I said it on this stream. I'm not giving Sony any more money. I'm not. I refuse. I'm not doing it. The reason why is because at this point, if Craven is anything like Morbius, I have no hope for that movie. And I like what's his name? Aaron Taylor Johnson. I like him. I just know Sony's not going to do it right. That's the problem. I know Sony is not going to do the movie right? This Madam Web that came out of nowhere, this live series. I mean, I don't know much about that backstory personally, but again, Sony doing the storytelling. I will say, as Leo said, Into the Spider-Verse was like that was a hit. That needed to be, I can't wait for that. I'm upset it got delayed because I knew that was going to come out at the end of this year. I'm a little upset that it got delayed because that was one of my favorite like animated series to watch, honestly, or the animated movies to watch. I do think part 2 and the fact that they're splitting it up into 2 movies is kind of interesting to me, which makes me think that there's a lot going on there that maybe we don't know about yet. So I'm excited for that. I'm a little bummed it's delayed, but all right, I'll take that. As far as anything live action Sony, I'm like off the scene. Like I can't be bothered to watch it. I can't, because I know they're trying to set up a Sinister Six and do all the Spider-Man stuff, and I'm just not here for it anymore. Like I unless you really show me something's going to be cool or different, I'm just not about it. In terms of, I'm going to say his name wrong. Idris, is that how you say his name?
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller. This dude first off, get out of Hawaii. Like you gotta get out of Hawaii now. You gotta, whatever's going on down there. I don't know what's happening to him. He's got to leave.
He can't go. He's in jail.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Dude's got to get out. I mean, I don't know what's going on with him. But like Leo said, to be this young, be in this position, have this, he's a pivotal part of DC at this point. He's Flashpoint. He's all that. He's about to screw everything up for himself, and also DC, more screwed up than they already are now going to have to backpedal and figure things out to move along without him, which to me is also just going to make more of a mess out of what is already a disastrous DCEU. So I don't know where it's going to go, but to me, I'm like, yo, DC's got a lot to clean up, and now they got to clean up this kid basically, or figure out, or move on without him, get rid of him. But they can't keep him. They can't keep him. Let's put it that way. They can't. There's no way.
And listen, I like Mike. Just like Grant Gustin do it, because
100%,
honestly,
100%.
I'm here. Like, he was amazing in the show. Like, I haven't watched the show in a while because it just got a little but he was amazing in the show. He was really good. And 2-minute warning, just like DC suck ass at live action, but they're great at animated. They just are. They just are. So I guess I'm gonna go now, and I'm gonna get very angry. So I apologize to everyone in advance. I'm gonna try not to yell, but it pretty much comes down to this: all you shit companies, stop touching my shit. Stop touching all the comic book stuff. I'm just done with all of you. Fox couldn't do it after a while, and they got bought out. Marvel said, okay, you're not going to give us our shit back. I'm going to buy my shit back. That's what's going to happen. And I don't think it's going to happen to Sony. I don't think it's going to happen to Warner Brothers, especially because Warner Brothers just got bought out by Discovery, and now they're Warner Brothers Discovery. And I'll start with Ezra Miller. The fact that Warner Brothers has not put out a statement about Ezra Miller as of now is freaking, it's just ridiculous. Just seeing what this kid is allowed to do. I mean, there was a video out there on Twitter. I don't know if anyone saw it. Someone was watching a video of his second mugshot and literally just pans to him at the party that they were at. It was absolutely ridiculous that this man has gotten arrested twice in Hawaii, and then a couple hours later, he's still in Hawaii and he's partying, probably ready to hit someone with a freaking ladder this time. He's about to turn into the WWE. He's going to start jumping off shit into people. I don't know what this guy's going to do. Like, why is he still the Flash? And you know what? Rest in peace, this Flash movie. Rest in peace, me getting to see Michael Keaton as Batman again. Like, what the fuck? Like, I really wanted to see that. Like, whatever they were planning with this Flashpoint movie, fuck you, Warner Brothers. Like, you don't know what you're doing anymore. I don't want to watch your movies. I'm to the point where I'm not going to give you my money. Like, Black Adam looked kind of cool, even though The Rock's in it. Like, I was really interested in seeing Dr. Fate and Atom Smasher and fucking Hawk, whatever the fuck I don't know. I'm very angry at Warner Brothers. I don't like you. And just go away. Sony. I'm never giving you another live action dime out of my pocket unless the MCU is involved. Period. You're not getting another dime from me. I still haven't seen Morbius. I'm probably not going to because I see no reason to. Why do I have to see it? So I can watch Kraven the Hunter and then get annoyed with that. So Michael Morbius can come in a freaking post-credit scene and say, "Oh, that's interesting. We should team up." Ugh. Like, why am I gonna watch another shitty post-credit scene? I don't want to. I hate you too. Like Madam Web, the only reason I want to see it is because the girl is from Euphoria is in it. And honestly, if you haven't seen Euphoria, you should probably go watch it. You should probably go watch it.
Passion alert.
You probably need to like go watch
Passion alert.
Listen, just get past the part where there's like 16 dicks and like it's fine. Like it's I promise you it's worth it. And then like listen, I don't want the Spider-Verse stuff to be delayed, but you know what, maybe it'll be a good thing, because honestly, if Sony, if you fuck that up, you got nothing left, man. You got Tom Holland, and honestly, he doesn't even want to be a part of your shit. So I'm done.
I know I'll let Wendell and Chase go, but I think we could all agree after watching, I know that we have debates on No Way Home, and that's coming later, whatever.
Woo, daddy.
But bring
it up.
Wouldn't sit here and tell me everybody on this panel wouldn't kill for the Feige's to be able to actually handle a Sinister Six?
Let him do it.
I mean, come on.
It's not even a question.
Come on.
That's not even fair.
That's it. Come on.
That's a cheat code.
Let's kick it over to Wendell.
Yeah.
So mad.
What are your thoughts?
Man, I'm not even wasting my time on it. I'm gonna tell you right now. DC, man, I'm serious. Ezra Miller, you just like the company that you work for. You just shitty. You garbage. You trash. All right. You had one job. Stay out of trouble till your movie comes out. That's all you gotta do. Give me my Batman. Give me my guy.
Vengeance.
No,
not that fucking Batman.
No.
Vengeance.
That guy.
Vengeance.
That's my guy right there. I miss him.
Nah, bro, vengeance.
So Ezra Miller, if you see in this man, I think you get, bro.
Jeez. It's aggressive.
I hope you're watching this, man, because you messed up the whole entire time, man.
Yeah.
This Sony is the biggest facts ever. Sony should just give it all to Marvel. Let them make all the movies.
I mean, that goes to the Facebook user. That goes without saying, man.
That's John Fisher.
Johnny Fish.
All right. Man, listen, they need to just, they need to do that. I'm with Abel. Maybe it is a good thing they're delaying it, but it's just another like nail in the coffin. They can't get their shit together either, right? Put out a movie, man. It's animated. Like, what happened? Why is it delayed? What's your reasoning behind that? Yeah. It's gonna blow all the shit that you've put out of the water.
That's the reason.
For sure.
I mean, listen, get your money this year, because I mean, what Morbius that tanked you. Now what you got left? What you got left? You got no video game coming out.
Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2.
Also, we didn't even mention with all these delays, this just means that Spider-Man 2 is getting delayed.
Oh, don't even do that to
me. It is. It's getting delayed. It's supposed to be 2023. That bitch is getting moved to 2024. Spider-Man
2026, you mean?
I mean, there's no way. There's no way. Man, and I'm disappointed because that was a look forward to be honest with you.
This part of the news is two sucky ass stories back to back. And you know what? They get an Austin.
Agreed.
I'm sorry about everybody who. Hey man, cover your kids' eyes, man. I'm good.
Chase, we'll end it off on you, brother.
Oh man. Okay, so where to begin? So first of all, for 15 years, Leo and I both have been bouncers.
Yeah.
And I can personally tell you that there is a certain label of person that would use a chair to fight a female in a club. Now, I ain't going to say what that is, but I'm quite sure you guys get the vocabulary.
Bitch!
So, that point, there's not much left to say. At this point, I don't understand how people that start making millions of dollars have these meltdowns and decide that it's okay to go out in public and just do the most dumbest shit there is. You're gonna blow up your career. Like, I don't know. I think maybe social media might have an influence in this thing. You know, like people just see everybody else get away with doing nonsense, and now you think you as a celebrity can also get away with nonsense, and you can't. So I'm just done with that whole thing. Like, he's a bitch ass for doing what he did. There's no reason to hit a chick with a chair unless she's like a Russian pig thrower and she's bigger than you or something. You know, it's just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy.
What?
Sony. So I have a theory. So I think that Sony calls themselves trying to keep up with the MCU. So what they do is they create a product after MCU creates a product. And then based on what MCU does next, they withdraw the product so that they can reshoot scenes, rewrite the story so that they can try to keep up. And the problem is that they don't know what MCU is going to do because Kevin Feige is like, yeah, we're doing that. And then they say, okay, we're going to do this thing over here. And then Kevin Feige is like, yeah, we're not really doing that. I'm just telling them that. So I think they're trying to keep up with MCU. And it's like, you know, it's like that one kid that wants to wear everything you wear. So you tell him that you're going to wear red the next day and you come out with blue. And, you know, he comes out completely red down like, yeah, we got the same thing on. You come outside and it's just like, go back in the house. I got to change clothes.
I imagine Kevin Feige listening to Sony and then be like, oh, okay. And then going back to like their board and being like, yo, did you just see what they fucking said?
Like,
they said they were going to do what with fucking Craven?
Like, yeah. There's just no way we're going to fucking do that. We're not going to do anything close to that. We're not even going to have our own Craven. We're just going to, avoid the whole situation. So I think that, Madam Web comes out of the Spider-Man story. So I think that they try to write her in thinking that the MCU would pick up on it. Mm-hmm. And MCU is like, yeah, we're not doing Madam Web. we're going over here. You know, it's like that. It's like that friend you have that wants to go every place you want to go, but you never want to take him. So you're going to like Taco Bell and shit. And you tell him to meet McDonald's.
Yo, I was that friend, man. Why are you trying to? No one liked me when I was. It was really hard for me in high school. All right.
So I think that's what's going on with Sony and the MCU. I think that they're just trying to catch up with the MCU, and the MCU is just like, yeah, we're going to McDonald's tomorrow at 2:00. Like, we're going to TGIF. Don't tell them.
Yo, they're like Shooter McGavin and Happy Gilmore. Oh yeah, the ninth screen at 9.
Yeah,
go there.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So they're just trying to catch up.
This is where I'm at now after hearing all this. I'm just gonna let you guys know. You don't think Sony saw what happened with No Way Home, and now in the back of their mind they're like, oh, let's just make a new Sinister Six, and then we'll have all 3 Spider-Men fight our new Sinister Six. But you're not the MCU, so it's gonna suck. That's just what it is. That's what they're trying to do. Yeah, and they're trying to play copycat, and it's not going to fucking work.
The only thing I worry is at some point Sony's going to turn around to Marvel and say, hey, we did all this shit for you. What are you really doing for us? And then maybe they're going to do what happened in 2019, 2018 and try and, cockblock Tom Holland for coming back. I don't know. It's a potential and it could happen. Would they be stupid to do it? But it could happen.
But the thing is, the worst part about it is, we're not getting a Miles Morales.
Not right now.
Live action.
That's the problem.
That's right now.
They're going to keep him animated across the Spider-Verse.
Which actually, honestly, might be the best thing to do, because that is the one thing that they, them and DC have managed to do is the animated stuff. Right. Why that can't translate to a hot live person movie, I don't know, but just say if all you can do is make burgers, just keep making burgers. I'm fine with that. And then who else were we talking about?
No, that's it. We good, man. We good.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Now we're
does that mean it's time for what I think it's time?
Oh, it's time.
It's almost time.
So first of all, we're gonna do the shot.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Fuck anyone that's not MCU. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, Thor: Love and Thunder trailer finally releases this past, I believe it was Monday.
Bing bong.
And boy, oh boy, what a doozy! So Aaron, I'm gonna let you pick. Do you want to go first or last? Because you are our Thor biggest fan. What, first or last?
I mean, you have a dog named Thor, so I think
I do
you
have
like
a
Thor
dog
a lot
named
too.
So I guess I should go first then, because I'm gonna try and do this by mind. First of all, love the teaser. Glad we finally got it to give us some perspective on what the movie's gonna look like. And Taika Waititi is gonna do us right. I mean, listen, we didn't get Gore the God Butcher, which is fine. They're gonna save that reveal for either the regular trailer at the end or the movie itself. I don't know. I'm still under the impression he's gonna evolve, but it's a whole nother conversation because that toy looked terrible. Just going through the trailer, seeing the Guardians of the Galaxy just thrown in our face right away was awesome. The fact that they'll probably be in like the first act of the movie, maybe a little less, and then I love Thor's arc of like really trying to figure out who he is for himself. Love that. That's awesome. We're gonna get a whole bunch of gods that we've never seen before, like Russell Crowe as freaking Zeus. Are you not entertained right now? Like, let's go. Honestly, if he says, "Are you not entertained?" I'm gonna cry like a baby because it's been like 20 years since I heard that happen since Gladiator, and I love Gladiator. I can watch Gladiator all the time, every time, just for that one scene. And then just going through the movie, seeing that the comic, the way they appreciate the comics and some of these things, like that one scene with the big, I forgot his name, the big monster, and him and Korg are just standing there looking at him, and clearly it's probably
Thalagoth the Behemoth.
Thalagoth the Behemoth. That was a beautiful ode to the comics. I'm just trying to think, seeing Valkyrie back, and then at the end with where Jane just pulls out her freaking like 2 tickets to the gun show, and she just freaking pulls that broken hammer, like, yo, passionate alert. That's what I gotta say. But and listen, last thing, I called this 80s montage of him working out. That's happening. It's now happening. And the hat that says Strongest Adventure, God, mwah, like just chef kisses. That the fact that was just a teaser and we got what we got. I'm very excited for this movie. So I'm good to go. Let's go to Leo.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna start off being a little bit sarcastic. Don't fuck up Gore.
You?
Don't fuck up Gore the God Butcher, please. That's the one thing. I love the preview. We needed it to tease us, and this is what Marvel does. They keep you right at the edge, and then they say, you can go a little bit more. Let's put you on your toes a little bit on the edge. And then they say, okay, I'm going to freaking 300 kick you into this fucking pit of joyness. A perfect movie montage.
Duke it.
And it was incredible. I love the whole scene. I love the whole Zen Thor. I'm here for that. I'm here, and I also like the scene where you were sitting by the tree. It also reminded me of Invincible. I was like, okay, and he's all zenned out, and he's getting all back in shape. Even though I love Fat Thor, that was my dude,
Bro Thor.
And, yeah. Oh God.
Let's hear it one time for the fat boys.
New master. This is Thor.
Yes. The whole working out scene was great. Valkyrie. I don't know about that woman, but she does it for me. Even in a suit.
Hey,
have you seen Westworld? You might want to watch Westworld.
Yeah, I have seen Westworld.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue.
Passionate.
Him and the twist that this is going to have. That I have a speculation, but I'm not going to give it yet. I want to wait till the second trailer, but I'll send it in the group chat. And you guys.
Oh, now you got to say it.
No. I got a speculation what's going to happen.
Okay.
But if it's going by the CGI, the graphics, the costumes, fucking chef kisses. It looks great. I'm here for it, and I can't wait.
Yeah. John says, "Say it."
Yo, you gotta say it.
Say it.
We have no choice.
He says, "Say it."
Give the
Do
people
it.
what they
Do
what
it.
they want.
It has a. I will say it in the next part of this show
Okay.
because it has to do with it.
Oh, it
That's
has
fair.
to do. Oh,
That's
I know
fair.
where you're going with that. Okay. All right. Great.
That's
All
fair.
right. Let's go to Wendell.
Well. I mean, look.
I'm just gonna keep the hammer here the whole time. I'm just letting you guys.
I mean,
know.
yo, you hold the hammer. You are worthy.
I am worthy.
Yep.
Hold it there.
Worthy.
Yo, man, listen. This right here, yo, Taika Waititi, whatever they say his name, man.
Yep, you got it.
Thank you. All right, from Ragnarok, coming off of Aaron's favorite movie, The Dark World.
Terrible.
This guy has put the spin on Thor that it was so needed. He has him as he makes it funny, but then he has his serious moments. Like I could see that throughout this trailer, like, yo, you got Thor rocking a top knot, sitting down, meditating, like like some little samurai dude. But I mean, he's getting himself together. Like I love what may possibly happen. Like that whole I'm done being a hero. Yeah, my man is going out to party. You see him sit up on the little pirate chick?
Yo, on the little pirate chick.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
My man is rocking the boat pulled by the
Bing
goat.
bong.
Like he is doing it. Got Stormbreaker just sitting there, opening up the Bifrost.
With the portal.
And
Sick.
With the portal.
He just tripped. I am so in for this.
Gotta get
That'll
my
change,
Stormbreaker.
baby. Yo, if you still using a rope, you're doing it wrong. You need to go get some chains that like hold the anchor for a ship and start getting it on. Thor just raised the level, man. This is my guy. I mean, look, I love Thor. This Thor, like Thor in the first movie, it was good to see him. Thor in the first Avengers, great to have him there.
Mhm.
But this type of Thor, this is the Thor I like. Like Chris Hemsworth is killing it. Like the delivery of his lines are on point, and I love watching this guy. So we're not even going to talk about Jane Foster yet because that's my little girl.
Padme up in here, freaking doing bicep curls. What up?
That is a girl right there.
All right,
Valkyrie. I'm all in for Tessa Thompson, man. All in for that. But yeah, this is going to be fantastic. And I said it before, him and Peter Quill, like those two together, they're going to deliver lines that are going to just like have the whole audience in the theater rolling at some point in time. So give me Thor, give it to me right now. Like I want to go watch Multiverse of Madness and then like go into another theater and watch Thor because that's what I need to do.
Yeah,
so I'm all in for it, baby.
I think we need a dance off between Chris Pratt and Thor. We need a dance off. Yeah. It's a dance off for leadership.
Drinks, I like it.
I love it. All right, let's go to Chase.
Oh, okay. So first of all, Thor has always been one of my favorites. I like Thor for the mythology piece. I've always liked mythology, so I love exploring Asgard, seeing the different trolls and giants and all of that. So I've been a little bit bored with Thor because they're going through this whole transformation where he's Fat Thor and he's having these emotional problems and all of that. But this movie looks interesting, to say the least. Russell Crowe is going to definitely bring it. It's going to bring something great to the screen.
Yep.
I love where it's going, and I think that in the end we'll all love it because Thor seems to be going through a transformation. So if you look where he started now, where he is, and where they're going with the trailer, we're going to end up with a product that's going to be great. It's a way for them to bring in Jane Foster, obviously. So I think that's going to be dope. So I'm going to sit and wait and whatnot, but I'm kind of bored. Like I loved, I love Asgard. I like to let's go beat up somebody. Like Thor for me is like the Hulk. I want to see him smash stuff. I want him to throw down lightning. I want to see Mjolnir just clear the land. That's what I'm here for. So all of these sideways drama stories with him. I don't want to fight anymore. Like, I don't want to hear that crap. Gratuitous violence. You know what I'm about. Gratuitous violence. But we'll see. We'll give it. We're going to give it a chance. It looks like a great movie. So we'll see.
I guess we're ending off with me.
Yep,
huh?
and we're gonna start it like this. Derek out here so pumped, and I know Aaron is too.
Well, that's good because Derek is my vibe right now. I got the hammer, bro. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is.
2-minute warning. Want you to bring the thunder. Bring it.
Let me just hit one of these real quick. Listen. I wrote down. You guys know me. I've said it on this podcast. These guys know me. I love Thor. Thor is my guy. I have a man crush on him. I've said it multiple times. It's fine. I'm about it. It is what it is. I wrote down. I went back and I watched the trailer, I think 15 times at this point. That's where I'm at. I also went and I looked up some stuff that I missed. I wrote it all down. We're going to go through it together. You ready?
Hey, yo.
80s montage. I'm about it. The hat. The 80s montage with the strongest Avenger hat. I'm here for it. I want it immediately. Broken Mjolnir. How does Lady Thor get it? How does Mighty Thor get it? Can't wait to find out. Jane, I want to know how you got the hammer. I want to know how you fixed it, girl. I'm here. Gun show. I'm here for it. Let's go. Let's get it. No gore sighting in the trailer.
We knew that was going to happen.
No Christian Pale. Interesting. I said Christian Pale.
First of all, his name is Powder in this movie, so let's just make sure we get it right.
No Christian Pale. No dipped powdered donut. All right. Okay. I hope that's because Marvel's fixing a lot of what we all saw. That's my hope, is that we haven't seen it yet, right? I'm going to say that. I think after watching the trailer a couple times, I think the Guardians are only going to be in the movie for the first 15, 20 minutes. I don't think they play a big role in the movie. Yeah. I just don't. I think they play a minor role. Thor decides he needs to go off on his own and figure out stuff, gets away from them, and that's where we get this movie coming from. So I think we only see the Guardians for a little bit, but I love the Peter Quill and Thor and Chris Hemsworth Thor dynamic. I think that'll be entertaining for the first couple minutes of the movie. Zeus, Russell Crowe, we've all said it. I can't wait. I think he's going to do a great job as I think it's considered the leader of the gods, right? Are you not entertained? Yeah, I agree.
Ooh, that's an interesting take.
We mentioned maybe Zeus fixes it. Interesting. Interesting. Take. I didn't think about that, but that's a hot take. We mentioned the comic book lore. Thalagoth the Behemoth getting killed by Gore is obviously what's going to happen. That's directly from the comics. I can't wait. I can't wait to see how that plays out. Because I think in the comics, that's one of Thor's close friends. He's going to warn him, and he finds him dead. So that's definitely going to be interesting. I don't know if you guys caught this, but I went back and I watched. I'm not gonna lie, I can't give credit because I can't remember which video because I watched like 50 of them. But there was a scene where you saw Thor. Marvel's notorious for this. You guys know this, right? Marvel's notorious for giving us scenes where they give us something in the trailer and it looks like there's somebody cut out or missing, right? They do that a lot, right? In all the movies. Yep. There was one where you saw Thor, and then you saw Korg, and then there was a spot to the left, right? Hear me out.
Say it right now.
Beta Ray Bill. Yep. I think Beta Ray Bill's in this movie.
Yo, honestly,
I think Beta Ray Bill's in this movie.
And I'm gonna go a step further. They're gonna do Thor core. I think so. Yep.
And if it is, I'm gonna nerdgasm everywhere. That's where it's at. That's where it's at for me. I'll lose it. That's it. I'm gonna be in the theater in my fat Thor costume, just like this, with a beer, saying another. That's me. That's where I'm at. I love the use of different costumes that we saw just in this trailer alone. We saw Thor in 3 different costumes so far. I think we're not done seeing Thor costumes, which I think is cool. All those are from the comics, from what I understand. I'm in. Yeah. I'm here for it.
Yep.
One of the cool other things that I saw was, I don't know if you guys saw this, but on that ship, the ship where he's traveling, he has the cocktail sign, and the cocktail sign is directly from Tom Cruise Cocktail.
That is such a badass move by Marvel.
I was like, yes, I'm here. I'm here for that. I'm here
that
for
is
the MCU. I'm 100%. I'm telling you,
Leo's very happy about Tom Cruise.
I took so much away from this movie, but the biggest thing I think, like, Mike beat me to the punch. I think Beta Ray Bill is in this movie, and I think they're hiding him from us. And if that's the case, this is going to be on another. This is going to I love Ragnarok. I love Ragnarok. It's a fantastic movie for me. Might not be for everybody. Fantastic movie to me. This is going to be next level Ragnarok, in my opinion. It's going to take it a step further. More characters, more story arc. I hope, to Chase's point, also, I want more action Thor. I hope there is more fighting. I think we got a lot of fighting in Ragnarok, or a decent amount that was good. I would like to see more. But I'm super excited. I love Chris Hemsworth. I'm so glad that this movie's coming out this year, because right after Doctor Strange, it'll be the longest months for me ever waiting for this movie to come out.
Look, I'll tell you this. Beta Ray Bill's statue face, he was a champion.
He was in Ragnarok. He was in
Ragnarok.
They've hinted at him for a long time. So I think when I saw that scene and I saw Thor and Korg, I said, there's somebody missing, and they wouldn't take out Jane Foster because she was already in the trailer. So I was like, they're missing someone else. And I was like, I don't know who it is. But
they really have been hinting Beta Ray Bill for a while. So in Endgame, when Gamora and Nebula are fighting that like race of people, those are Beta Ray Bill's like race of people.
Right.
I don't know.
100%.
Yeah. So like they've been
100%.
teasing us forever, and like I feel like they would miss an opportunity to not give us Beta Ray Bill. And like I said, Thor Core. I feel like Thor Core is coming to like deal with that.
Yeah,
I really do.
I can't wait. Can't wait.
All right. So to end the episode, we are going to go into Moon Knight. But before we do, obviously, it's shot time.
I'm gonna finish this big ass shot.
Everybody.
All right. So here are my thoughts, guys. I'm gonna I have a lot of notes here. So I'll take us through the episode, and then maybe we all just go around after that and give some takes or something like that. Is everyone cool with that? I think we could do that, right? All right.
Sure.
All right. So episode 4, what a mind fuck. Just to throw it out there. The end of this show was pretty crazy. So I'm gonna start from the beginning, kind of try and go in order and see how we do here. So just starting off with that guy putting Khonshu on a wall with like 9 other gods. This guy's evil. I don't know what's going on with him and some of the other gods. There's definitely another plot at play that we're probably going to learn about in the next episode or two. But this guy's messed up. And then we literally start right back where the last episode ended off with them in the desert, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but there was a little scarab kind of like flying off the sand before we get to Layla and Mark. Mm-hmm. They keep teasing us with the scarab thing, which I'm going to get to a little bit later. But obviously we start off with Layla, and according to my notes here, I have an emoji with a tongue sticking out, and it just says passionate. So Layla, if you're hearing this, I love you. So she does her thing with the guys that come with the truck, throws a flare in, explodes the truck. Mark just stands there after Steven just stands there after, and then they get in the truck, they drive away, and then they're talking for a little while. And I love this dig that she gives. Apparently the suit was Mark's best feature. That was some emotional damage right there. And then Mark's like, just screaming in the mirror, like, give me the body. Like he wants to get in there and just freaking like let her have it. So, as they keep driving, they stop, they find the dig site, and they're walking through. I don't know if you guys saw, but if you look closely, I was actually in this movie. So they're walking through and they actually see a goat on top of a rock, the greatest of all time. That was me. Just wanted to throw that out there. So they come up on the dig site, and this is where we get to the Indiana Jones / Mummy of the series that everyone's been talking about. Which, listen, I thought this episode was great. They get into the tent. I love the mirror effects that they do. It's just something we haven't seen in the MCU. Every time Mark and Steven have a conversation with each other, and like you see the reflection talking back, it's just a cool thing that I like. So then they're talking, and for some reason Layla goes in for that kiss, and then out of nowhere Steven's just like, oh, by the way, Mark thinks Khonshu's gonna take over your body if it's not Mark. Like it was such an awkward, like it was just a good acting moment. Like the fact that he could just literally become like 2 different people, soon to probably be 3, is just amazing. And then like Steven just goes in for that awkward kiss, and it was just like, it was painful. It looked like it hurt her so much. Like it was just really funny. So and then Steven just Mark just coming in for a second and just like clocking him in the face was freaking hysterical. The way they just played that off was just awesome. So they get in the tomb, he draws the eye of Horus. They figure out it's a tongue and everything. Which side note, if you ever are hanging out with a woman that starts talking about the eye of Horus or the third eye, and they got a pyramid with an eye somewhere tattooed on them, don't talk to them. They're dangerous women. You don't like that. It's just something. Trust me, it's something you don't want. But I had to throw that in there. So they go down the hallway, and then the mummy servant comes out, which I know Leo loved this part because this mummy servant just threw this guy on the table and started freaking taking out his guts. Like he just said, "I'm gonna mummify you." So rest in peace, Harrow's fake cop. He just starts to take out his guts, and then there's just blood everywhere. So I know Leo somewhere was crying inside. Yes. Blood.
Violence.
Violence.
Yep. So then they get split up, and then Layla is doing that whole Indiana Jones, like, I don't want to fall into this pit thing, and then she gets pulled in by whatever the mummy was, which was awesome. I loved that scene for some reason. It just seemed really creepy. Like whatever, they get into a fight, she figures it out. Oh God, where am I? So then Steven finds the tomb, figures out it's Alexander the Great, which is kind of cool, little like nod to the history of all of it. And then out of nowhere, here comes Harrow again. This whole show, for some reason, Harrow just comes out of nowhere, no matter where it is. Like he's just there. He's there to be a part of the moment, and then tries to convince Layla about her father and Mark being a part of it. Calling her my little scarab again. Here we go with the scarab. There's definitely something there.
I'll tell you what's there.
Oh, I know it's there because I'm getting to that.
It's there?
Oh,
Okay,
I know it's there.
Yeah, it's coming.
Oh, it's coming. So then Steven literally has to go into poor Alexander the Great's mouth and pull out a freaking little statue. And Harrow gets in Layla's mind, and while they're in the tomb, here comes Layla, a woman scorned clearly because now she thinks that he had something to do with his death. Mark comes out, tries to get him out, and what happens? Guys come in, Mark gets shot. It's messed up. So the quote that Harrow says too is a big thing too. I can't help you if you don't want to help yourself. Shoots him twice, he's down, and then all of a sudden, here comes the mind F, right? We're all of a sudden watching some corny ass Tomb Raider type thing, and then the kid turns to him and says, you're Dr. Stephen Grant, and then you pan away from the TV. And then we go Jeff Lemire, right? Like I'm pretty sure this has had a lot to do with the Jeff Lemire run. Him being in the hospital, questioning, what's going on, and is this real? Is this fake? Whatever it is. I loved this scene. I thought it was very interesting. Like I thought it was gonna be like, oh, I already know what this is gonna be, but you sit there and you think like, is this real? Is this fake? But we probably know where it's going, right? So just to give you an idea on how much information they put into this, right? So the people that were in the room, right? So you got the gold statue guy, his boss at the museum, the black guy who worked with Anton, the museum guy when they went in the field, the guy playing with the Rubik's Cube, just a little ode to him messing around with the Rubik's Cube. The two fake cops were there. There was a woman drawing Khonshu's head. Mark's been drugged and restrained. Here comes Layla stealing his bingo card. Messed up. The Moon Knight doll, trying to call out to Steven in the reflection, restrained to the wheelchair, like all of it. It's just like the attention to detail that was taken in that scene alone is just ridiculous. There's probably even more in there that I missed. And then we turn to Dr. Harrow sitting there telling Mark about himself, and you just look around the room, there's gypsum stuff everywhere. And then again, Harrow says, I can't help you if you don't want to help yourself, and it triggers Mark. He gets out of the room, fights with the two guards, and then he finds Steven. I loved the interaction with him and Steven. Just them two just talking to each other. How did you get here? What happened? What's the last thing you remember? Da, da, da. And then they run out into the hallway. And by the way, before he even finds Steven, the fact that the lights were moving the way they were and like the furniture was moving, I'm going to get to that because I think that's a thing. And then they're running through, and you see the third coffin. that third coffin is Jack Lockley. Let's just be really honest about it. The third personality is coming out next week, I think.
Jake.
Jake Lockley. Excuse me, Jake Lockley. Yeah, and then they run into the hippo goddess Tarawet, and the scream at the end, like Steven screaming like a little girl, was the funniest thing to me. I don't know why. It was just hysterical. So now it turns into like what comes next. So I've heard a couple of things that I like, and obviously, like I said, after this, you guys can kind of go and give your thoughts. But the whole lamps moving and everything. So are they on a ship? So there was an Egyptian thing, I believe it's called the boat of Anubis. Anubis was a god that I guess judges right before you go into the afterlife. So that might be a thing. Maybe they're on that boat, kind of ready to be judged. I think they didn't just introduce Tarawet for nothing. She's the god of a goddess, I think, of fertility and something else, like bringing people back from the dead. So I think she's gonna play a role. Your personality number 3, Jack Lockley's coming. And I think not only is he coming, but I think in episode 6 they're gonna let him take over, and I think he's gonna go completely. Yeah, he's gonna go. Yep. Yeah. I think he's gonna go nuts on everyone, and I think the next episode is gonna be very flashback heavy, very like the personalities coming together to work together, and I think it's gonna all lead to episode 6, and I think it's gonna go nuts. The only thing, and then also Layla. So I think they're setting up Layla to be the Scarlet Scarab.
For sure.
Honestly, it might even be a situation where Tarawet becomes, the avatar, like Layla becomes her avatar or something like that, or whatever it is.
I don't know if you noticed, she had in the scene where they went to the mental institution.
She had the thing on her.
She had a thing on her pinky that was a red scarab, and I was like, she's gonna be the Scarlet Scarab. Like, I was like, there's no way she's not. Like,
of course.
I saw that and I was like, but I didn't know anything about Scarlet Scarab until I actually went back and did research and saw that was like a Marvel character who had, like a lot of ties into different parts of Marvel. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, that's gonna be a cool time. And I'm not trying to say it like this, but Marvel's obviously trying to give us more female protagonists. They've been doing it for a while now. They're there's a lot of strong female characters in the MCU now. They keep introducing them, so it's something that they're pushing. So it's obvious.
Yep.
And it's cool. It's cool. I'm here for it.
Yep. Yeah. So I think so I have 2 other things. The only thing I worry about is this show is at the end of it. I think people are gonna be, I don't know if it's disappointed is the word, but the fact that we didn't get enough Moon Knight in the suit. I don't know. It depends on what happens on the next episode and the one before. I don't know. But also, I do think that Lockley is going to have his own suit. I think he's going to get like I mean, listen, you have to think about it. Technically, Steven has his own suit. Mark has his own suit. Like, maybe this guy gets his own suit, and maybe it's a little bit more comic accurate than the white suit. I actually think they'll do like they'll put the black in the hood. Like, they're gonna. I think they're gonna mix it up a bit. I think he's gonna have his own suit. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's really all I got. So so that's like the episode as a whole. So I guess we will let's go to Chase. Let's go to let's round table at Chase. What do we got?
Okay, so for me, like, this is kind of what I'm here for. The one reason that I kind of got hooked up with Moon Knight when it first came out was the whole Egyptian mythology. Like, I'm here for all of that. You start talking about all the tombs and I'm here for that. So the servant, as you put it, is actually a sort of prime minister. So when you died, these guys prepared the body. So when you see him put him on the table, what he's doing is what they would normally do to mummify you. So they literally go inside, clean all the guts out. They take this big hook, stick it up your nose, and they scramble your brain and then pull that out. And then, they mummify you, and all of the pieces goes into the little jars that Lada's looking at on the floor that are all bloody. So I love this. I love this. This like the best part of this entire episode because they're like chasing him. And then on top of that, the mummy's using echolocation to try to find them, which I loved. I'm like, okay, that's why you keep hearing that. So he's actually using echolocation like a bat would in order to find out what's what's what. Um, I agree. I think that the new personality is going to have his own suit. I think that it's going to be heavy battle ready compared to the other two suits and whatnot because it's growing, and each suit is about it matches the personality of the person that's wearing it. That's why Steve's suit is just more of a dress suit. It's not battle ready. So now this whole thing with Mark knowing, I have a question. So we understand that the personalities and normal split personalities are contained in the mind. But what I'm thinking when Dr. Howard shoots Mark, what happens to the other personalities at this point? Because do they live in his head, or are they all separate spirits within the body?
No, they all share the same space. So whoever's in charge, whatever that person's experiencing, they're all experiencing it. So it's not like, because technically what they're saying is the reason why Steven didn't really know about what Mark did is because Mark did what he did when Steven was asleep. Right? So if Steven's in control and Steven goes to sleep, then he is out of consciousness. So now Mark can take over, wake up the body, and take it out and go do what he needs to do, then come back, put on the little bracelet, lay back down, and then let him wake up. But that's why Steven's always tired, because his body is continuously moving throughout, the night or whatever.
Same
he
vessel.
Doesn't understand that.
So my question at that point is, again, if that becomes the case, if the body is injured to the point of fatality, where does the other spirits live at that point, or are they stuck? Where does that go? Especially considering the fact that Khonshu is now in this little statue, and he can't really help. But it's curious to see where that goes or whatever have you. I think for me, I'm gonna just take some time to go back all the way to the beginning, because for me, this is something that you have to kind of binge watch. Because then you can kind of scoop it all up, an hour here, an hour there, you get little things. But I think once you go back to the beginning and just binge watch the whole thing, I think that a lot more becomes evident and whatnot. So that's definitely what I'm going to do for it. But I thought it was good. It's going in good places, and we'll see.
Yeah,
nice. All right, so we're gonna welcome from Speak On in Comics, Charles. Charles, how we doing, man? What's going on?
What up? What's going on?
All right. So Charles, we just kind of went through like a full synopsis of the Moon Knight episode. Just give us your thoughts, man. What are you thinking? How did you like it?
Yeah, I really think that this is gonna. It was really interesting, because I think that this is where he's gonna have the mental breakdown.
Yep.
And I do think that it's almost like he's in almost like a purgatory in his mind. I think that the mind knows how to protect itself, and I think that's what it's doing. That's why it has him to kind of go into that space where you start to see everybody that he knows in this one space. It almost seems like there was a story one time they did, I believe, with Batman, where they said that he was in an asylum and everything that happened was really just in his mind. He wasn't really Batman. There was never really a Joker. It was all in his mind. So I think that they're kind of having that type of situation with Mark, where it's almost like it's playing like as if these people, maybe he was always in this asylum and he imagined all this. So I think Marvel is kind of playing with us a little bit, sort of like with Total Recall. Remember that movie from Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorites.
Damn it, Cohagen gives it people some air.
Give people air.
gives them some air.
Man, I wish I had 3 hands.
There was a show called Legion on Fox. That part reminded me of the Legion series and whatnot. It was similar.
Yeah. It did have a lot of similarities, but I thought that it was interesting that I knew what was coming. I just didn't know when, because they did Jeff Lemire and Smallwood, they really did a great story arc with the whole mental patient, him being in a mental asylum, and how it was all about how the story was basically about how mental illness patients are being treated. You know, it was really about that type of storytelling, and it added Mark Spector in that story, but it's supposed to kind of be sort of like his own mental breakdown, you know. And so it's interesting that they're kind of played this at this point because we only got two more episodes.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited. I thought that they did a good job. I understand where people can get a little bit like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
Especially when the
Yeah.
hippo shows up at the end. I was like,
Yep.
I
Yo,
was like,
and like she had like the hi.
hi.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm in. Whatever they're
Yeah.
doing, I am so in. So
Hell yeah.
I enjoyed it. I loved it. I loved
Awesome.
it. But what you said, Chase, I think I'm gonna do too. When this is all said and done, I'm gonna
back and
rewatch
rewatch.
him
You
all in a
have to.
row.
Might have
You
to
have
for
to.
sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
That continuity of the story is just going to help connect a lot of dots because
Yep.
you know it's like you're just missing little pieces here, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't see that before. I didn't catch that before." So
Yeah.
and also, I think that people, I again, I think it was Abel was saying, a lot of people are going to be a little bit confused because this is a show where you kind of have to think a little bit.
Mhm.
You have to know a little bit about Egyptian lore and
Yeah.
mythology, and so a lot of these different things that are happening are going to go over people's heads. But that's why we have this show so that we can educate
You
you
can educate. Yeah.
and you'll know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the thinker episode, right? This is that episode that sets you up for this grand finale that's going to take place, right?
Yeah.
Every one of the
Yeah.
shows,
Yeah.
every
Yeah,
show
sure.
has had it thus far,
Yeah.
right? They get to that point before they blow your mind. You have to get into a thinking episode, give you a little bit more deeper into the lore of everything.
Yep.
Right.
Like, I mean, like I believe that this whole mental institute thing is all in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Although I could also think it's perpetuated by Harrow to try to mess him up.
Yep.
But I think this is all just him in his head because him and Steven are now sharing the same space. So now they're all just, you know what I'm saying? Like I just think it's tricky. I love it. I think it was great. I'm good with an action break. I mean, we don't have much action, but I mean, I'm good with the action break to get us deep into it. But it's just like, yo, strap in, hold on, because 5 and 6, you know, 5 is going to give you more of this part, but I think the second half of 5 is going to start with the action business. And then 6 is just going to blow it wide. And then at the end,
it's going to start with the business.
Didn't get enough of Moon Knight in the suit, but I think that's on purpose. Right?
I think,
I think it's on purpose.
It seems like it, yeah.
Think about the shows we've had prior to Moon Knight, right? Moon Knight's the first show that's introducing a new character. Every other show were established people from the MCU movie life that now transition to the small screen. They've always said that Disney Plus and these shows are going to bounce back and forth between small screen and big screen. So now we're getting introduced to Moon Knight here.
Yeah.
And I'll start the conversation because you know what? I think Midnight is a big screen thing. And I think they're just showing you who Moon Knight is right now, and you're gonna get the full taste of this dude when it hits the screen. And of course, my guy Blaze is on. Well, I'll say Blaze, but I want Danny Ketch, but you know, they gonna go with Blaze.
Midnight Suns.
I was about to say, how about them casting Elsa Bloodstone's character?
Oh yeah, so
oh my god,
yo, so let's go to Aaron. Aaron, talk to us about the casting and talk to us about how you felt about Moon Knight. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I love this episode. I think, like everybody said, this was the episode that was messing with my mind a little. I was like, now I don't know what's real and what's not. Like, I don't know if the psych ward, the mental institution, whatever, is real, or if like what originally was real. So like that kind of messed with me a little bit. I'm glad you mentioned the Scarlet Scarab. That stuck out to me a lot. I know I mentioned it before. As soon as I saw the bandage, I was like, I knew there were hints, but I was like, okay, like she's gonna be the Scarlet Scarab. But I was like, okay. And then I did some research, and that led me into like, oh, who is the Scarlet Scarab? And saw that it's that character is a big part of Marvel. So that'll be cool moving forward because
very passionate about Layla.
Yeah, the more Layla, the better. You know what I mean? Like that works for everybody. You know. I also liked. I think one of the things that I mean, it's kind of a minor part, but to me, it kind of stood out when they were in the actual, like the tombs themselves. There was like a lot of Indiana Jones-ish type of stuff going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they did a lot of like tie-ins to that almost, where like Layla had to like jump that gap and stuff like that. And there were like things where I was like, oh, that's very like Indiana Jones-ish. I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. They kind of did it that way. Like I can kind of see why they went that route. You know, all in all, like you guys said, I think this is obviously leading up to it's kind of a mind twist, so to speak, to kind of prep us for the last 2 episodes. But again, at this point now, we're 4 episodes in. I do think, to everybody else's point, you know, we're only getting like a taste of Moon Knight during the 6 series event, and then we're gonna get like a lot more, because with all the rumors going on, Werewolf by Night, little Elsa Bloodstone, little Blade, I'm like, Marvel's just like, they're giving us these little, what's that meme? You know, that was that dude, that little salt sprinkle. They're giving us like, they're giving us the like, hey yo, we're just gonna drop Midnight Suns at you a little piece at a time, and then once it comes, you're gonna be like, whoa, what the hell?
Slap you in the face with the stick.
But it's cool. I honestly, Midnight Suns would probably be like I would probably go as crazy for that as I do for Thor, just to be honest with you. That's crazy. I forgot what's the name of who's the person they casted supposedly?
I can't remember
her name.
I know
the woman's name.
From the Never.
I'll get it.
It's like Lauren.
Laura Donnelly.
There it is.
Laura
Donnelly.
Yep. I just remember seeing a picture and saying, "Hey yo."
Yeah, she was apparently cast to be in the Werewolf by Night series, the Marvel
Halloween
special
Halloween
that's gonna come out.
Nice.
So as soon as I saw that, I was like, they're just giving us Midnight Suns full bore. Like it is what it is. I mean, the last piece that we're really missing here is the Ghost Rider, which is also going to blow everybody's mind whenever it happens.
Love it.
I think we talked about it early in the episode. I think it's going to be what's his name
Norman
from Walking
Reedus.
Dead? Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead.
I think
it is.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Last but not least, we're going to end with Leo, because I feel like Leo has a lot to say. Go ahead, Leo.
Okay. The last Moon Knight episode 4 was great. Okay, couple of little hints. When in episode 3, when they're doing that whole knife fighting thing, and he kills the guy, and he asks Mark, "Was that you?" And he asks Steven, "Is that you?" That was Jack.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That was Jake. Yeah.
Jake. Yeah, it was.
That was Jake. That was Jake. Oh,
Take a shot. You got his name wrong. Take a shot.
Jake the Snake. No, I'm just kidding. Jake.
Yeah, that was it. So when they're with the whole thing with Moon Knight, you have to know a little bit about history. And what Marvel does, it tries to teach you a little bit of history without boring you to death. The whole thing with Alexander the Great, that is a actual true story that he followed. He was the voice of, I forgot the god's name.
Ammit.
He was the voice of Ammit. He brought the religion into Greece, and he also was buried. He wanted to be buried as an Egyptian because he conquered so much, and he ruled so much. He wanted to be recognized as an Egyptian, and to this day, they still can't find his tomb since they moved it from Greece.
Right.
Stephen Grant found it.
But the only thing about it is, historically, it was said that they originally said that they burnt his body.
Yes, because they thought so much about it
in Alexandria, and then from there it was reburied again, and then no one could ever find the spot. So that's the only thing. So if they had burned him and then reburied him, he wouldn't be in the tomb. That was the only thing I was like, yeah.
But that's also been notified as hearsay. Since they took him out of Alexandria, since all the war, because since when he died, he left such a great fortune that all his people, all his generals and everything fought so much for the body that they were having a civil war over it. Because he was so powerful and so great, and everybody was fighting the first thing after his last breath. They almost had a war just because of his body, because they wanted to send him back to Greece, and they sent him back to Greece, and then they brought him, and he wanted to be buried. These specific rules in his last will and testament, one of the first will and testaments that he ever know. He wanted to be recognized as an Egyptian. So that's why I think it's more history, but that's here or there. But the way they did the episode is having a man in his chest is because he was the voice of it, and also him being the voice of it. And once you get mummified, they take out your voice box. It's one of the
larynx, right?
Yeah. They take out your larynx and put it in one of the tubes because you don't need to talk once you cross over, or if you're being a deity. And all the deities that they had inside, I want to know inside after they did what's his name? God, Moon Knight. After they put him into the stone, they trapped him in stone. I want to know all the other gods and what did they do. That's what left me like, holy shit. There's 9 other ones. I want to know what the fuck happened to them.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. This guy's evil, man. Like he's taking on gods and like I don't.
He's a god. He's a god.
Right. But you know what though?
The humans betrayed him.
They have a whole nother objective that we don't know about. I'm telling you. Like, how does Harrow get to walk into the tomb and talk to this guy and then just talk to Khonshu and just be like, yeah,
Harrow got that
but
talk. That's why.
Harrow throughout this whole show has been coming and going as he pleases, and that I'm telling you, there's something weird there.
Yeah, I agree. There's one of the gods that's on that committee is helping.
Right. But yo, who was the woman that had a relationship with Khonshu? Because I felt very passionate about her. I feel like she's gonna come into play.
The goddess of song and love. Yeah.
Oh my God. Hey yo, it's honestly between her, Layla, and whoever asked that girl out to the steak date on episode 1. Like I haven't decided. I'm gonna give you guys my final recap at the end of the series, but yeah, at the end of the season finale. Yeah, I just exactly.
Yeah, so everything that's been going on, it's so great for history. I love history and I love learning little snippets of Egyptian lore and all this other stuff.
That's really cool.
And with Moon Knight and Khonshu, it's such a battle that he's trying to protect Layla, and the way that they're tying everything in is great. And we had enough violence in this for I have my fill of blood in this episode. Especially when he took this axe and told him, "Okay, I'll give up."
Yo, that axe! He just
yanked somebody right in the middle of the face. Yeah, that's my thing.
As soon as I saw that axe come out, I'm like, Leo is freaking having a day right now.
I was like, yeah, he's gonna shake somebody, and I'm gonna love it.
Violence.
I was excited about those mummies when they popped up.
Yeah.
Yo, that was
it had me with the mummy vibes because I was like, Brendan Fraser, where are you, bro? Where are you, Brendan?
Yeah. But the snippet that I have and the theory that I have is going to be very controversial. Because...
All right, now listen, you got to hit us with it. We've been waiting for this.
We've been waiting for it.
I know you wanted to. I'm gonna have my theory about your theory. You're gonna loop Thor in with what's going on Moon Knight.
It's possible
with the gods.
I see this.
Oh, we saw it happening.
Yeah,
so let's loop us in.
Okay, so in Khonshu, he gets out. He gets out. This will be very big spoilers if it does happen. He gets out. He tells Mark helps him get out. Jake or Jack, whatever the fuck his name is. He gets out. They let him out. He takes control of the body. He beats the shit out of Doctor Strange. Gets his powers. He mollywomps Thor and the God Butcher at the same time.
Hey, yo, what?
In the comic. This actually happens in the comic.
I don't know about all that happening in the MCU, though.
Thor has to end, and so does Doctor Strange. They're not going to be forever.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I told you it's controversial. This is what happened in the comic.
I hear you.
I know it's your favorite guy, but
no. I just honestly, I don't think that this is the end of Thor.
No.
Because
you'll maybe get another 1 or 2 movies.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine.
But see, here's my thing, and this is why I was asking earlier about where the other consciousness live. When Khonshu knew that he was going to be encased in stone, he told Steven to tell Mark to get him out.
Tell Mark to get him
So-
out.
Yeah,
Right?
and Mark gets him out, and then
Mark-
Jake takes over.
Mark just got shot and supposedly killed.
Yeah.
So if so, this is what I'm saying about where the other consciousness live. If something happens to the body, because technically the agreement is between Khonshu and Mark. So if they two have the agreement, and that means that only Mark actually knows how to release Khonshu.
Right.
So now
Mark knows how to release Khonshu, but if he lays Jake, because we all saw Jake in the tomb shaking the fucking coffins and sarcophagus, because they don't want to let him out, because that is just pure mayhem.
But there was also some speculation going around that we've already seen Jake. There's a couple of scenes where he's wearing like a black hat and like talking in like a weird Chicago type accent, like where like it's just different. So like
we haven't seen Jake completely. We haven't seen
no.
Jake.
Listen,
we haven't seen Jake in the suit yet. And Jake,
but like
Jake in the suit.
That's what they on the State Farm commercial.
But you know what though? but here's the thing, like I want to know like how much Khonshu knows about Jake, and has Khonshu just been hiding Jake from them the whole time, or does he really not understand Jake? That's what I don't know, right?
I think when Khonshu wants to get shit done right, he lets Jake out.
Yeah. Because our understanding is that the agreements between him and Mark. But remember, when Steve took over, Khonshu didn't say, "Well, who the hell is this?" He said, no, "Oh my God, the idiots!
The idiots here."
But we also got the desert scene with the biggest some bitches ever in the world, in the workers in the world record. The man turned back. Steven actually turned back the night sky. So that's what I'm saying. Khonshu, we got Khonshu with all this power, and he's hiding Jake from these two guys because he knows.
Well, maybe he's hiding.
Khonshu's definitely hiding something.
He's hiding Jake from them.
He's hiding Jake from them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do not know about Jake at all.
Yeah, but not to know about Jake because he wants to get shit done his way, and his way is gratuitous violence, which I am here for. Because once Mark and Steven said, "You didn't do that, and you didn't do that," I was like,
Jake, you knew right there.
It's Jake from State Farm, baby.
Oh no! Listen. I had this speculation since like the first couple episodes where they started calling him Scotty. I'm like, bitch, his name ain't Scotty. There's another personality here somewhere. Fuck this.
Yeah, I think he was just disrespectful, man. I think he was just disrespectful.
Oh yeah.
I think we saw.
I don't know, man. I would think the majority of us have done security here, and I don't feel like we would be disrespectful like that. I don't know.
I don't know. I've seen Leo a couple of times.
Hey yo!
Seen Leo.
You are not lying, sir.
What? I'm the nicest person you ever meet.
The fuck you are.
The next morning.
No, listen. I'm gonna keep it real right now. Charles is probably the nicest guy on this podcast. He has nothing bad to say about anything we talk about.
Let me just say, that's my brother. Don't let that smile fool you.
Listen. I know when he can go dark side. I understand that, but he's still a nice guy until he doesn't have to be. I understand that too.
I'm like what you call it, Patrick Swayze in
Roadhouse.
Be nice. It's time to not be nice.
There you go.
But with wrapping the whole Moon Knight thing out, it's going to be a great show. And if we do get the Midnight Suns, or if they decide to the MCU blowing up everything, they have two options. With the comic book side, you have another 10 to 15 episodes or movies. If they want to destroy the whole MCU and have everybody on his head, because a bigger god than Moon Knight in the MCU, a better villain than Khonshu and Jake.
I deep though.
I get goosebumps just thinking about it.
It would be interesting to see if there's someone else pulling the strings behind Harold.
For sure.
Yeah.
No,
That would be interesting.
there
Yeah,
definitely is
dude,
because that his staff is supposed to be a drop of Amit's blood.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
the question is, if they don't know where Amit is buried, then who to get the blood from?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So somebody that's a god gave him the blood to use in his staff.
Right.
Exactly.
Somebody else is pulling the strings.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So we're in for a very
Yeah.
great ride, and once again, Marvel is about to Sparta kick us right into the fucking glorious pit.
Yep,
sure.
they're about to
It's
fuck
only
us
the
right in the
beginning.
puss.
It's only the beginning.
Yes.
All right,
I don't know if you could
ladies
say
and
that.
gentlemen. Yes, the fuck I can. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with us for
Oh,
Man Cave 101 podcast, episode 6.
Episode.
I think Leo just froze, and that's kind of funny. Could we all
Oh,
just
yeah.
like acknowledge that for a second? All right.
we're back.
So please, from all of us, me, Aaron, Wendell, Leo, Chase, from Speak On It Comics, Charles, and from Thor, who's missed me all night. Please, if you would like to join our giveaway, follow our YouTube channel, Man Cave Podcast 101. Like, comment, and subscribe. We will announce the winner on Sunday, and we are going to get you guys a comic book of our choosing. Ooh, I don't know what that means, but
Oh yeah, which reminds me, I gotta go make my fake profile. I want to win that comic.
hey, yo, win that. Hey, yo. And like I said, if I could just get this whole picture of the Riddler with this whole question mark thing made by Aaron Jacobs.
Aaron Jacobs.
Aaron
Cover
Jacobs.
artist.
I would love
Hold
that.
up, I might have the cover for you guys. I might give you a sneak peek.
Ah,
Which you might be getting.
I don't know,
So
man. I
many
don't
things.
know. I feel like we should hide it. I think we gotta hide it.
Hide it.
The Facebook user that's asking about the drawings that they posted in the podcast group. The pictures are absolutely fire.
That's John Fisher.
Absolutely fire,
dude. Those pictures are awesome, and keep them coming. 100%.
Yeah, keep them coming
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we really like that, man. That
If
was
you need
awesome.
space in your house, you can just send them to mine. It's fine.
Yeah, for real. Those are
All right.
really good, man.
All right,
And
ladies and gentlemen.
And I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek to see what you guys think.
Oh boy,
it's gonna be quick.
Oh, hey, yo, drop it.
Oh,
Drop
that's
it.
not even fair, man.
that was more than a sneak
enough.
peek.
That was enough.
Okay, hold on. I almost finished making my fake profile. 1 second.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this has been Man Cave 101 podcast. Please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe to join the contest. As always, we give you our nerdy advice, details, and opinions on everything you want to hear. Please join us every Thursday, 8 p.m., or whenever we decide to go live, because honestly, if you don't join us, you're missing out. So from me, Thor, Aaron, Wendell, Chase, Charles, and Leo, good night.
Peace.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
She got a smile that it seems to be reminds me of childhood memories when everything was as fresh as a bright blue sky. Flat. You're so flat. Whoa, 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 sweet child of mine.
Oh my